What's going on, everyone? Welcome on into another postgame here on Met Centrals. The New York Mets destroy the Colorado Rockies 8-5, taking the series against them already. Now they got to complete the sweep tomorrow, but we'll focus on that another time because they go in and take care of business tonight, getting 3 home runs combined from the offense, getting the contributions up and down the lineup. The captain playing with a broken toe, going into the lineup and backpacking this team. And then again, you got it from the bottom of the lineup. You got it from Luis Torrens, who should be the starting catcher from here on out. You got it from Tyrone Taylor. You got some contributions from McNeil, Jared Young, getting the contributions and beating this Rockies team that you should be beating because they look like they don't even want to show up to the ballpark on a daily basis. So that's a team that you should be taking advantage of. And with the Phillies in a slide right now, the Mets gaining some ground on first place, which is also nice to see on top of all of this. So we got stuff to get into here. Leave a like, though, on your way into the show here. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, especially for Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live here on Met Central. Do the same things if you're watching on replay. Exciting win tonight. Very exciting win tonight. And one of the better offensive performances we have seen from this team. And again, you look at the runners at scoring position numbers, you see 3 for 14. But the thing that I liked about it at the very least, even though they didn't look great in that department, is again, you got a lot more contributions up and down the lineup than you've been getting. And honestly, a lot of it was because they were getting solo home runs most of the time. So that also played a factor in the fact that the runners in scoring position they didn't generate as much then. They're doing it with the base empty, which you don't want to see that. But again, I will take the fact that they were actually hitting some home runs today because that's what you should be doing in Coors Field. That's what you should be doing to that kind of pitching staff, which they ended up changing up who was pitching too because Palmquist was supposed to go today, but they ended up sliding in Marquez because they didn't want Palmquist facing the Mets back-to-back starts. So they ended up having him duck the Mets here, and you go against Marquez and absolutely destroy him, which was beautiful. But let's talk about this game. In the first inning, Lindor gets on with a single, steals a bag, which, by the way, that's another thing that became a theme. The Mets stealing bags, which put them in runners in scoring position, which good. Take advantage of the fact that Ramon Marquez does not have a good pickoff move, and they absolutely exploited that tonight. The Mets go down in order, though, the rest of the way. In the bottom of the first, Clay Holmes gets into some trouble, allowing back-to-back singles to Beck and Estrada. Not a great play there by Brett Beatty over at second base. But either way, gets the next 3 batters out. Clay Holmes settling in there. Top of the second, Beatty gets on with an error. Outside of that, nothing else happening. Clay Holmes with a 1-2-3 inning in the second inning, getting 2 strikeouts in that inning, getting Kyle Farmer on 3 pitches as well. And then the top of the third, Ronnie Mauricio. You thought he should have had a home run last time. Well, he got a home run tonight. 110 off the bat, 456 feet, absolutely demolishes this one. A knuckle curve higher in the zone, and he ends up crushing it for his first home run of the season and ends up making it a 1-0 game for the Mets. And they could have expanded on the lead because Lindor, a single, and then steals another bag. He is very well going to have another 30-30 season, most likely, at this rate, because 14 home runs and now 13 stolen bags. He was just XP farming it tonight. But unfortunately, the Mets, again, don't capitalize on that and add on to the lead. The bottom of the third, Freeman and Beck get singles, but Clay Holmes generates a double play there. And then Goodman grounds out to end the inning. In the fourth inning, the Mets go down in order. In the bottom of the fourth, Ryan McMahon ties this game up as Clay Holmes, not even mad at the pitch location. He threw a slider inside on him. I'm not mad about that at all, but it ended up tying the game up at 1. And he did allow a double to Hilliard after he gets the next 2 batters out, but then strikes out Farmer, who he just owned because, again, 3 pitches striking out on that to end the inning. And then we go to the top of the fifth where the Mets expanded on their lead, thankfully, as Jared Young ends up hitting a home run, which, again, I still feel the way I do about him in the lineup, but nonetheless, he ends up getting a home run. So good for him, and it helped the Mets out tonight, which made it 2-1. Mauricio with a single, steals the bag. So once again, the Mets stealing bags all night long off of Germán Marquez. And then Lindor grounds out. Nimmo with a single, which made it 3-1. Soto hits into a fielder's choice, and then Alonso hits into a double play to end the inning. The bottom of the fifth inning with 2 outs, Clay Holmes again working in the trouble. That was the one gripe I had, is that he worked into a lot of jams, but you do give him credit for working out of the jams, as he ends up doing the same thing there, getting a ground out from McMahon on that one. We go to the sixth inning. Jeff McNeil getting a solo shot, which made it 4-1. His fourth home run of the season. Torrens gets hit by a pitch. Beatty singles. Marte comes in to pinch hit, hits into a double play naturally, and then Mauricio grounds out. And at that point, I won't lie, I was a little frustrated leading up to that inning with the offense, and then even there, Marte. But thankfully, they uh, opened the floodgates a little bit more later on, which we'll talk about. But in the sixth inning, again, Clay Holmes worked into trouble a little bit. Didn't help that there was an error there from Mauricio, but Freeman hits into a force out either way to end that inning, and Clay Holmes ends up turning in 6 very solid innings, which we'll talk more about. In the seventh inning, Nimmo and Soto walk back to back with 1 out. Pete Alonso with a single. Tyrone Taylor with a sac fly makes it 5-1. Luis Torrens makes it 7-1 with a single. Beatty flies out. And in the eighth inning, just the fast forward there, Lindor with a single. Nimmo ends up getting an RBI double, which made it 8-1. And Budo and Castillo, shout out to them with some good work out of the bullpen today to shut things down, saving some of the top arms. I didn't want to see Reed Garrett have to come in today. I didn't want to have to see Rozabon potentially work today. So it was good to see that they got a good amount of outs there from the bullpen. I was surprised to not see Waddell though, instead of Castillo. That I was a little surprised about. And Keith said it on the broadcast too. But nonetheless, like I said, a very good outing from Clay Holmes, 6 innings, 9 hits against, which I don't love how many guys he put on base via the hits. But again, it's going to happen in Coors Field. And when you're working out of jams, I'm fine with it because he still got 6 strikeouts, didn't walk a batter, which there was only 2 walks throughout this entire game. And the Mets did not walk anyone at all. Clay Holmes, those 6 strikeouts, he allowed that home run. Did a really good job, though, for the most part, considering the circumstances. He got 6 whiffs on 19 swings with the sweeper, got 9 whiffs on 19 swings on the slider. So he was really feeling the breaking ball stuff. He didn't utilize his four seam and changeup as much as I really would have liked for him to, especially the changeup. I thought that maybe would have came into play to help a little bit more, but who am I to talk and who am I to judge? Because at the end of the day, he got you 6 innings and he still got out of the gems nonetheless. So who am I to sit here and say otherwise? And then, like I said, Budo, he looked the best we've seen from him, at least attacking these Rockies hitters, which that's something that I want to highlight as importance, to be honest, because people will sit here and don't get me wrong, even I'm sitting here saying it's the Rockies, Budo should be pitching this way against them. However, I gotta say that it's refreshing to not see him walk guys, because there are times where it's just like he's not attacking hitters at all. And I want him to go out there and attack hitters, especially against this type of team. And he did just that today. So huge credit to Jose Budo in that regard. And then Castillo, like I said, good work from him out of the pen in that inning that he gave. And then the lineup just getting contributions up and down. Lindor going 3 for 5 in his return, stealing 2 packs as well. Unbelievable work from him. Unbelievable. And he's got to be named the captain. He's got to be named the captain. But that's neither here nor there. But just another example, another night where he's leading by example, I should say. Going out there on the broken toe, having a multi-hit game, stealing bags. That conversation they had with Mauricio, who knows if that's what correlated to Mauricio having a 2 for 4 day? I'd like to think it is, but I don't know if it actually is. But you love to see that sort of stuff. So, and then Brandon Nimmo in the 2-hole again. I don't know what it is about hitting second, but 2 for 4 day from him, 2 RBIs, a walk. Good day from him. Juan Soto, not as good of a day, but still ended up getting a walk throughout this game at one point. Pete Alonso going 1 for 5 today. McNeil, I mean, everyone got a hit today outside of the pitch hitters in this one, which Taylor got a sac fly at the very least. So there's that at least. So you're still getting an RBI at the very least because this team was struggling to begin with to get sacrifice flies earlier in the year. So I'll take what I could get. I'll take what I could get here. But yeah, overall, just a really good performance, very solid performance, much needed. You got to go in there and just demolish that type of team. Hopefully, they could do the same tomorrow and maybe at least, give a little bit better numbers with runners in scoring position, just so it really looks better. But they'll go against Chase Delander, who's going to pitch for the Rockies, and Tyler McGill will be on the mound. This is the game I'm scared of the most, to be honest with you, because I don't know what we're going to get from Tyler McGill. You never know what you're going to get from him at all. But I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. And I'll see you guys in the next one.